When we need to prepare for a competitive event, our go-to company is the Army Painter.
Thanks to their complete range of paints, spray cans, and gaming tools, we're able to complete our new armies and units in no time.
When we need to elevate the quality of our models and terrain, the Army Painter is always our first choice.
You may not know this, but the Army Painter has sponsored more competitive events than any other hobby company.
Tournament and wargaming is in their DNA.
Visit thearmypainter.com to learn more about their amazing products.
And use promo code AOW Paints for a 5% discount from your Army Painter purchases.
What are you waiting for? Discover the best way to prepare your models for events with the Army Painter today.
Hello, and welcome to Thursday Talk Show, kind of, wherein we talk about things and, talk to people at home. And, well, what happened this week? Did we do anything this week?
We went to the American Team Championship, Jack.
The American Tiger Shark Championship?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's right. So Quinton and I went with a team of our local friends.
Local friends, yeah.
And we
played some games.
We played some games at the American Team Championship in really Chattanooga.
Fun. It was one of the most fun events that I've played in a long time.
It was a hell of a good time. So we're here to recap it and also talk at you and around you.
And around you.
And to you.
So this is going to be a very informal show. So if you have a super chat or a chat or you just want to say hello to us, drop that in the comments and we'll be sure to answer it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So where to start, Quinton? I mean, you were on the team before I was.
I was indeed.
Yes. So how'd this go?
So we ended up going 3-2 overall.
We went 3-2. We were actually the only team 3-2.
I know,
weirdly enough.
no draws,
and we ended up placing 5th out of 19, which I think was actually a very solid, very good placing.
Very good placing.
Very good placing. So there's an 8. It was an 8-man team.
Yep.
We had the two of us. Let me see if my memory is up to the task.
Can you do it?
We had, I don't know his real name, Mayhew.
Yeah, it's Matthew Bunting.
Yeah. Matt Mann, Cam, don't know, Calibro?
Calibro, yeah.
Calibro. I was introduced to a lot of these people.
Day of.
Morgan Timpey.
Yep.
Travis
Armstrong. Yeah.
Thank you. And then Charlie Blowers.
Yes, there you go. You got them all.
And I believe that is everybody.
That's everybody. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Cool. And then the two of us.
Yes.
And we took our best shot. We
really did. We had a very interesting philosophy, which was that we are just going to take 8 lists that are all kind of skewy, and we're going to see what happens.
Yeah. So I honestly think that the strategy was pretty good.
Yeah.
And we'll see how, I'm down to execute it in the future. But the idea is to take 8 lists that nobody wants to pair into or can consistently do anything against.
Yeah.
Key being consistently, like maybe they fail a couple 4-ups and oops, the vault died, but consistently you can't be like, yeah, I'm gonna kill those vaults, it's easy, don't worry, it'll be fine.
Jack is bearing the lead here somewhat. One of the lists we took, which was my personal favorite and I think your personal favorite, was Necrons with 3 Tesseract vaults and the Silent King.
It was beautiful.
It really was. It was a thing of beauty.
It was.
Jonathan Haynes says, hey guys. Hey, Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan.
Thank you
for being here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, I mean, ultimately, I think it was you and a bunch of people you've known for a long time. Yeah. And then one of them had to drop out. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of wanted to go to a team event. Yeah. And so I hopped on the team. And honestly, ATC this year it was a hell of a good time.
Yeah. ATC is always a really good time. I've been to a lot of team events, and there's something very unique about ATC. I think part of it is because it's like just long enough that it's worth the drive. So like we had a really good time in the the drive up was a great time. And then like it's really cool because it's in like the same area every year. So it's fun to like be able to go back to restaurants and be like, oh, do you remember like 2 years ago when you went here and this thing happened or that thing happened or something like that?
Yeah, you get random flashbacks because like I don't remember every place I've been to at ATC, but then I'll see them and be like, oh right, I was there. That was great. So that was fun. You ended up taking a new army for you.
Yeah, it was game 1 of the tournament was game 2 IRL with this army.
IRL. You had played some games.
I played like 3.
Played some games on TTS.
Yeah.
And I'm playing Blood Angels. Our team comp, I was actually very proud of our team comp.
Oh yeah, me too.
So I was playing Blood Angel Jump Pack Spam, basically. You were playing Sisters Melta Spam in Bringers of Flame.
Yes.
We had, again, let me see if I can remember all of our lists off the top of my head. We had 15 Warden, 3 Sword Blade Champion, 3 Blade Champion, 15 Warden, and 663 Venatari.
Yep.
That list is pretty gnarly. We had 6 Dread Knights, Canis, and some Power Armor GK stuff.
Yes.
We had, so that's 4. We had 7 Greater Demons. That list was pretty neato. We had 3 Vault Silent King, a squad of Immortals, 2 Reanimators, and 2 Spiders. That list was pretty baller. We had 18 Exalted 8-bound, 6 regular 8-bound, and Angron. And then we had, Max Montka is like 3 Hammerheads, 3 Riptides, and 2 Tiger Sharks. What a team comp.
It was.
What a team comp.
Ryan G asks, did Jack yell "witness me" every time he drew a secondary
Well,
card?
I was playing Blood Angels. I wasn't playing World Eaters, so I did not.
Our World Eaters player did actually do that though.
Yeah, he was just like deployed on the line. It was like,
great.
do you feel lucky today?
Did you know his opponent made every single fallback check the entire tournament?
That's what he says. I'm sure they failed one that didn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that always feels rough when you're like, well, if you fail, you already passed it.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Nolan Baker just popped some free super waffles into the toaster and ready to watch some content. Last super chat until my student loan drops. Woo. Feel you there, bud.
Yeah.
Feel you there.
So we took two different cars up. I think we had
2.
one person was flying in, I believe.
Yeah, one person was flying in, and then it was 4 and 3.
And then it was 4 and 3. We went.
If you have not carpooled with a bunch of your friends to a tournament, it can be a lot of work because sometimes it's like an 8-hour drive. But I really recommend it because it's very fun.
It was. We had a good time on the way up. We stopped at multiple Buc-ee's.
Oh yeah.
Not the full 3 that we could have, because I'll be honest, by the 3rd Buc-ee's of a trip, it's a bit much.
It is a bit much. The first one was really fun.
The first one was great. The second one was necessary because we did need to pee.
Yeah.
But
the third was superfluous.
Third one, little superfluous, especially since we were getting dinner there.
Yeah.
But, got to pick up those beaver nugs. Got to pick up the...
What are beaver nugs?
Delicious.
Okay, like what are they? Like, are
Amazing.
they are they chocolate? Are they nuts? Are they... I have no concept of what this food is.
They're really good, is what they are.
Okay.
If you've never tried beaver nuggets, you probably should. I have a pack at my house now. Unrelated.
A Buc-ee's, if you are in chat and don't know, is like a large gas station that also serves like weird road food. So they have like sandwiches.
Not weird road food. Okay, it's huge. First off, it is gigantic. It's like having like a gift shop and also a restaurant almost.
Restaurant.
And like a
gas station.
A gas station
and
store.
And like a CVS.
And a CVS.
In like one building that also has
gigantic bathrooms.
Like huge. They're basically just like large gas stations. They're kind of fun. They're also very beaver themed, and they sell a lot of merch. So
as big as you think that they're going to be,
they're like twice that size.
They're bigger.
Yeah,
they're known for having very clean, very large bathrooms.
We got lost actually in the Buc-ee's. I spent like 10 minutes. I couldn't find.
Your hair's no longer pink. How am I supposed to find you? You used to be a lighthouse.
I'm kind of sad that I'm going back to brown. That I'm just like letting it fade out, and then I'm gonna cut it off and be normal again. There are days that I'm like, what if I just dyed it back to pink or blue or whatever? I could.
You could.
But it's so much work.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you contain multitudes. You don't want people thinking you're just the dyed hair guy.
Just the dyed hair guy.
Just the dyed hair guy.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing about Buc-ee's is that they have, to my opinion, quite good brisket.
They're pretty solid.
They're pretty solid.
Yeah.
So and every time they haul out, because there's a brisket chopping station in the middle of a Buc-ee's, and they haul out a big thing of brisket. Okay, and then the person who hauls out, there's a ritual to this. Okay, this is they cleanse the machine spirits of the brisket. They haul out the thing of brisket, and then they put it on a board, which is very important. And they go the person who's doing it goes fresh brisket on the board, and then everyone else who's like making the sandwiches and whatnot goes in chorus, fresh brisket on the board, and then they make brisket. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
is the point.
That was it. No, so fun. If you haven't not been, are they in the South, right? It's kind of like a Southern thing.
Yeah, I never before I came down to the South, I'd never been to a Buc-ee's
If you
before.
are ever in the South, you should go to one.
Also, I will say the the tortilla wrapped sausage, very suggestive, very good.
Why is it suggestive, Jack?
Because I mean, use your imagination. It is a sausage this big wrapped in a beige skin color tortilla. So use your imagination on that one. But it's quite delicious.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know. All right. Okay. So
ATC.
That was our trip up.
Yeah. And down.
Yes, yes. And down. We did stop at a Buc-ee's on the way down. I picked up some things for the girlfriend. She's a big fan. Big fan. We had an Airbnb there. And we stayed. It was a quite nice Airbnb, really actually.
Nice. Yeah, Travis booked it.
So 5 rounds, ATC, and you actually know your first round opponent fairly early on.
I quite liked that.
I like that a lot, too.
So our round 1 was Sanctum Gaming.
Sanctum Gaming, in my mind, probably had the best team comp that we played against.
They were very good.
Sorry. Definitely the best team comp we played against.
Yeah, just in terms of like the armies. I did the classic like, so whenever I get a team that I'm opposing against, so a lot of times what I'll do is I'll look through it and be like, okay, what's the weak link here? Like what list is bad and how can we pincer it? And I was like, man, all their lists are solid. That's bad.
Yeah, no real weak links to attack. Also, what we were hoping for and what we saw in most other teams was like some lists that couldn't really handle some of the skews. So like some of the skews would get real games and some of the our skew lists would just be like, sorry, you can't handle this, die.
Yeah.
And that did not like largely was not present. This was like a first real test to the team. And we did not win that round, unfortunately.
No.
I think we by and large did all right.
We did fine. It wasn't like a blowout.
But largely I think we learned some things, which was important.
I learned that table 5 is terrible.
Table 5 garbage. Useless.
Table 5, if you are playing on the correct way, which I think was Dawn of War, is
Dawn of
fine.
War.
It's a fine table.
Yeah. Specifically, you will find in the pack it is only recommended for Dawn of War and Sweeping Engagement.
Yeah. But if you are not on those layouts, say you are on Tipping Point or Hammer and Anvil, like I was, then you end up with a bunch of lines that are vertical and you are trying to hide horizontally. So, yeah. It was bad.
Quite poor.
My opponent and I got to the table and realized that neither of us could hide any models anywhere.
This was a conclusion that every single team at the event came to.
Oh, yeah.
Which was that table 5 is garbage and amazing for shooting armies. And so every single team was like, Tau, table 5. Or table 4, which is like bargain bin table 5.
How many times did Morgan play on table 5? Like 3?
He played on table 5 or 4 every single time. He was our Tau player.
Yeah.
I think he played on 4 that round. And that makes Tau really scary.
It really does.
So if you're going to a team event, especially an 8-man team event where every table will be played.
Can we just take a little segue
yes.
and just talk about the Tiger Shark?
Yeah, so the American Tiger Shark Championships.
Yeah, it was like every team had them.
Yeah, decent number. There were several that did not. There were several that did. Tiger Sharks are really strong right now. And they're really strong in a way that is tough to consistently deal with, especially if the rest of the army has their table choice.
Yeah.
And so what that means is it's really good for a team event. Because you can just show up and blow people up.
Yeah, so the new change was that Tiger Sharks can now come on, shoot the turn they come on. Because they're an aircraft, they're excluded from the if you cannot fit in your deployment zone or within 6 inches.
Yeah, like you can include one otherwise and get around it by rapid ingressing, but it's so much easier to just show up, shoot.
Yeah.
Right? And then it also means if you're going first, you just get to show up on turn 2.
And they have a pile of guns.
They have so many guns.
What is it? It's 2 cyclic ion blasters, 2 ion cannons, 6 seeker missiles, and a missile pod.
2 missile pods. And 2 Sky Spear missile racks.
Yeah, oh wow, it's a lot of guns.
Yeah.
And it's what, like less than 300 points? Like
it's 275.
275, yeah.
And it also shows up on the table and it shoots with true line of sight, and most of its guns have very long range.
Yeah, so it's an aircraft, so if you're hiding behind obscuring, no, you're not.
Yeah. At least for Tacoma, the GW Tacoma thing, they are saying Tiger Shark no worky.
Yeah.
That is not GW officially saying it. They are completely separate teams who make those rules.
I personally am on the side But like not in terms of like a rules is written thing. If rules is written, the Tiger Shark totally works. But in terms of like what the rules should be, I think the Tiger Shark should not work. I think anytime that you can just show up with a pile of guns that just shoot your opponent no matter where they are, it's just dumb.
Yeah, we had 2 of them. They would show up, and then your opponent would exit the table because it just sees you, right? Yeah. Like it just shows up, it sees you, and you're gone. And there were several other teams, including the winning team, who brought them.
Yep.
And they were quite good. Now, they weren't like broken or anything. He definitely still like lost games and whatnot, but they're just pretty good.
Yeah, they don't have the weakness of like if you go second and your opponent just like runs at you, the Tiger Sharks can only show up on turn 2. They can't shoot you turn 1. And like you can hide from them.
They're also OC0.
Yeah. So if you kill everything else, it's kind of like when you could like boots a flyer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You kill all things on the ground.
Yeah. So if you kill everything that's on the ground, the 2 Tiger Sharks can shoot everything to death, but they can't hold objectives. Yep. So there's a couple ins to like win the game that way, but when they work, and it's also that you can't consistently say, yeah, I'll beat 2 Tiger Sharks. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Because like if they go first and you're on a bad table, it's like you're not hiding from that.
They shoot we were talking, we were like, okay, so we start off with 2 hammerheads worth of shooting. And then we add 6 Seeger missiles.
4 hammerheads.
4 hammerheads. Well, I mean, each one is 2.
Each one's 2 hammerheads. Basically, exactly, right? Because a hammerhead has 2 Seeker missiles. This had 6.
Yeah.
It also has 2 cyclic. Yeah, it just has so many guns.
Yeah.
It's so many guns. And then also if you have 2, one can show up. They can show up and one can guide for the other if it's something that like... If it's like Magnus hiding in the back.
Or you can rapid ingress and Overwatch with it.
We did that. Because you can do that. It's not Titanic or Towering. Whichever one of the 2 it is that you need to not be in order to Overwatch. It is not that. I remember in a practice game, he rapid ingressed and blew a squad of 8-bound off the table.
Yeah. When they have florals to hit, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and also if you kill anything in the army, then 1 CP full reels to hit against that target for the rest of the game, and then they just die.
Gabriel Ruth, that gosh darn Terror Shark. I saw a list with 2 of them in the Goonhammer GT. Lucky meant I didn't patch into them, but they are so big. I've never seen them IRL. Yeah, they are huge.
So we had to figure out the dimensions of this thing.
They're like this big, actually.
They're 15 inches wide.
Yeah,
we
crazy.
measured.
Yeah.
They're 15 inches wide and I think 9 or 10 inches tall. They're huge. Luckily, they can overhang stuff. At first, we could not, but they updated from WTC rules to GW rules, and we could fit them in WTC tables. Like, not tables, WTC rules about not overhanging ruins. But when they went with GW rules, you could just overhang ruins, and suddenly becomes like, don't even worry about it, just block it down. The WTC said that Tiger Sharks don't work, and like when they show up, they don't get to shoot. I'm not going to cry about that. Honestly, like if that's the rule, if that's the law of the land, that's the law of the land.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tiger Sharks are bad for the game.
I agree.
I think in the same way that like indirect spam is bad for the game.
It's okay in teams because in teams you can plan around it, and like you both sides can have the same thing, and then both sides can figure out how they're going to mitigate that thing.
Can you imagine the Tiger Shark mirror?
I would be so happy to throw Morgan into that.
Tiger Shark mirror? Yeah.
His nickname apparently is Tiger Shark.
It's been on the back of his jersey for like actually 5 years.
Yeah. He was like, can I sell you guys on a Tiger Shark?
Yeah.
And we were like,
this thing's terrible.
Well, in our minds, we thought it was like 400 plus points.
Yeah. And then Morgan was like, but it's 275. And we were like, what? The true story, by the way. And then we were like, take 2.
They were like, yeah, well, I mean, don't take 1. Obviously, take 2 to make sure your opponent is super dead.
Super dead.
Also, if you just pair into Thousand Suns, it's very funny because they just show up and delete Magnus. And then they're like, okay, well, that's bad. There's nowhere to hide. Magnus is like this, going like this all the time.
Well, he's got the wing that's like super in the air.
Raise your hands if you're a Magnus. And Magnus is like, oh, over here.
That was your Frank voice.
So that was fun. Where were we? The American Tiger Shark Championships.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Death or Glory a little bit?
We can talk about their comp.
So Death or Glory, congratulations, they won the event.
They did.
They won the event.
They did.
So they had orcs, they had Tau, they had Drukhari,
they had knights.
What else did they have? They had a
wild comp.
They did
for sure.
I'm just gonna pull up BCP, and we can talk about them.
Yes. So the other SKU list that we took was the vaults, and the vaults, I'm pretty sure, is good, but I'm not
I'm not 100%.
I'm not 100% sure it's good. But it probably
it like won games I never thought it was going to win, and lost games I thought it would win.
Yeah, like 20 OD in practice after you shot it with all your multi-guns. What is this?
Well, yeah, I shot it with every gun in my army. I did a total of like 6 damage.
I think you did like, sure, an irrelevant amount. You did like 14.
I did enough damage that he healed it all the next turn.
Yeah. So triple vaults is kind of wild.
Yeah.
So Tesseract vault in Obeisance Phalanx. And the only reason you're on Obeisance Phalanx is for a strat.
Yeah.
And the strat is 1 CP minus 1 damage on a vehicle, which the vaults are. The vaults are also toughness 12 with a 2-up, 4-up, and 24 wounds. So with minus 1 damage, those things are tough, especially if they reanimate 2d3 at the start of each of your turns, and if they have a 6-up feel no pain and
which
a
is
5-up
against mortal wounds
and psychic attacks. So if you're shooting with psychic weapons, 5-up feel no pain. If you're hitting them with dev wounds, 5-up feel no pain. If you throw a grenade, 5-up feel no pain.
What was the math we ran? It takes 3 squads of Haywire Scourges, like 4 turns to kill one.
I think it takes 3 squads of Haywire Scourges with rerolls to hit 4 turns. Because you shoot and you go minus 1 damage, and if they shoot a different target, sweet, both of them will heal for 4 on average.
Yeah.
If they go after the supporting pieces, they get killed by the vaults, because the vaults do shoot ludicrously hard. Basically, each one of them fires as an apéritif, just to start things out. You fire 24 shots at 701 with sustained 2, and you have access to real ones to hit and wound, so think that one over. It's a million shots. You just kill Marines so fast, because like, I have cover, cool, take 33 ups. Then you have your choice of 2 of the following 3 weapons, all of which are good. The one you take almost all the time is D6 plus 3 shots blast at strength 10, AP 3, damage 3, dev wounds, indirect fire, blast. That is really good. Then you can get 3d6 shots at 18-inch range that auto hit at 621 dev wounds. Ignores cover?
I think so, yeah.
I think so. Or the last one is 1 shot at strength 3, damage 6, with dev wounds, precision, anti-character 4+. Which sounds like, oh, it wants us to pick guys out of units, but it's like, well, Canis Rex is a character. So that's a flat 6 damage last cannon that wounds him on 4s and he doesn't get a save.
Catan are characters.
Catan are characters and you ignore mods.
Units with characters. Like the Volgons, you just shoot and kill a suit every time.
Every time you shoot. And things like Angron just gets darted.
Yeah.
Things like tank commanders.
Characters.
Things like Grey Knight, Grandmasters and Dread Knights.
Yeah.
Those are all characters.
Greater Demons,
all characters. So you can just be like, oh, wound on a 4, re-rolling 1s. It hits on a 2, by the way. That hits on a 2. So you're hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s, and then you wound on a 4, re-rolling 1s, and that is something you will spend a CP reroll on because you don't have a lot of strats in this army. And it's like, oftentimes you can just do 12 to 18 damage to a character, just like, brat. And then you also have Miniers, so you can quite casually brush Canis to the side and just be like,
very funny.
Sit down, young child. Just calm down a minute.
So we have Lyle Dixon in chat here, going back to Death or Glory, who was weak and did not have 3 Tesseract vaults.
Pathetic.
So they had Orcs, they had Drukhari, they had Blood Angels, which I'm going to assume was just a bunch of jump back Marines.
It's a weird Blood Angels list, but they managed to make it work. It definitely had 6 2x3 aggressors.
They had,
whatever.
Double Khorne Lord of Skulls, Slaanesh Demons, Custodes list, Imperial Knights, and then double Tiger Sharks.
Yeah. That would not have been the team comp I would have gone with, which speaks to how they played it, for sure, I think.
Yeah. So they said in chat that they definitely designed their team comp around table 5, which I think is very smart, because I didn't quite realize how much that table was going to be like wildly open.
No, we realized it we knew it was good.
Yeah.
We knew that putting Tau on their open table was good.
I didn't realize like the extent to which there was actually just no train on my table.
You can't hide. It's easy. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. I played Connor Tumulty, who is in chat here right now. He says, "Hey, Quinton, I was your round 1 opponent. Great game. And I need to toss you guys some cash for the hundreds of hours of content. Thanks, guys." Thank you, Connor. Anyway, Connor, I went first, which was awesome. He's playing Votan. I was playing Sisters. He could not hide a Sagittar in his deployment zone.
Yeah.
He like literally could not.
Yeah, you attacked into him, right? Like we put you in. Yeah. He did a good job at stalling you out, actually.
He did. Yeah, I got a 13.
Yeah.
Yep.
which I would have thought you would have gotten a lot more, but he was just like, stop moving up the table. Stop.
Yeah, it took me a few turns to like chew through everything. He had left a lot of stuff in reserve that came on and shot me, so I had to play a very passive game.
Yeah.
The risk was just really high because the table was so empty.
Yeah. So to wrap up the Tesseract vaults, I think they're quite good. I think they're good in teams. I don't think it's a good singles army.
No, it's not.
But if you can find, like, if you can put it on the board, your guy has to know exactly how to deploy, what tables are good for them, what tables are bad, because they can't always deploy all their
So we
stuff,
had
all their things.
When we had the vault list, we literally had every deployment with every table. We had photos of where the vault would deploy, and it was like a preset.
Specifically, Matt did that, himself. He had, I think, 48 pictures on his phone of TTS deployments and where he would put the vault.
Yeah.
And so if it was a deployment that was not good for him, he would let us know. And then he would say, I have 4 tables where I can deploy all 3 vaults. And I'd be like, sick. As soon as I saw that number start to tick down, I'm like, you're a defender now.
Yep. Whenever it got less than like 2 or something.
As soon as there were 2 left, he went out. And I think, honestly, I could have paired better with him.
Yeah.
I think part of that was my mistake. I think I could have left him till scrum defender a decent amount of the time. But the list was good. It pumps out a lot of shots. If you're not ready for it, you can't kill it. And even if you are ready for it, you still probably can't kill it. And it can kill you.
Sometimes it dies randomly.
Sometimes a vault dies randomly, and that's bad.
And sometimes it is literally invincible.
Yes. The ROC 8, getting to the objectives is the big thing. You have to get there first. Once you're there, you generally are fine scoring points. But if you get intercepted before you get to the objectives, it can be a problem. Anyway.
Jack Marius Tesseract, reporter for...
Unfortunately,
Jack Marius Tesseract
cut off.
Oh boy.
Reporter for the 40K quarterly. Okay.
Let me go back so I can actually read that. Surprised to see controversial 40K player Chris Adams join your team. Do you agree with Adams that the 2008 election was rigged by Truckosaurus, or that Americans have a right to open carry live bees?
Listen, if the Second Amendment applies to guns, it absolutely applies to boxes of live bees. Prove me wrong, first off. I will carry bee grenades. It's just a glass bottle with bees in it. Smoke bomb. Smash. Uh-oh.
Have you seen... God, what is it? I think it's Hunter x Hunter.
No, I have not.
Okay, well, there's one season where they're like in like a cave, and there's like a girl, and she's a hat full of bees, and they can't leave because she's dead, I think. Maybe it's a snake. I don't know. Anyway, there's a girl with a hat full of bees, and it reminds me of that.
Okay, that's fair.
Someone in chat definitely knows, and tell me what I'm missing.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like a ball jar full of just nothing but bees, and you just
throw it on the ground.
Just throw it on the ground.
Bees are actually really nice.
Not these bees. These are asshole bees. These are jerk bees.
These are jerk bees.
These are jerk bees. These bees have some issues to work out.
Where's Gas? The $2 super chat
on Death or Glory, actually.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Brad played them.
Does Zod scout 6 or 9? Sorry, Jack.
Does Zod scout 6 or 9? I don't know how scout works. If it's a normal move, then probably not. But let me see.
So is the contention that he gives +3 move to the Gretchen?
No. So he gives +6 inch move during the wall. That's not what's at issue here. Yeah. He gives scout 9 to the unit, but the unit only moves 6. I believe he moves 9. But how about you go ahead and read the next one while I delve into it?
Let's take a look at those undefeated lists. There is some spice to see. What was the worst and best mission you played on? Okay, I can take a peek at undefeated lists in a bit.
Technically, Scout would make him move 6, but I think that's stupid. So that's me personally.
Yeah.
I hate when rules don't work. When technically your rule doesn't actually do anything because of intersection of rules.
Yeah.
I think having Scout 9 on a guy who moves 6 should make him Scout 9. Personally, that's just me. But
yeah, I agree.
But yeah, technically he only moves 6 with that.
Yeah.
I think that's stupid, but whatever. That is the law of the land, unless they say otherwise.
Okay.
I believe. Ask your TO if you're in doubt.
The worst mission we played on? Purge?
Round 1 was Purge, which was legitimately really nasty for some of us.
Purge is just weird. I don't dislike it. I think the problem is it changes the dynamics of a lot of things.
makes the game very stally.
It really does, yeah.
Because you can, as long as you make sure your opponent doesn't hold the center.
Yeah, if you're on an objective and kill a unit, you're getting the full points realistically you're going to get on primary.
And like going and taking your opponent's expansion objective is literally worth nothing.
Yeah.
Because if you take, unless you hold it, right? If you take it off of them, they take it back. You're not denying them primary.
Yeah.
In fact, what you're probably doing is giving them kill more.
Yeah.
And that's not fun.
I do really like the fact they changed it so that turn 1 getting a kill is not worth 8 points.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was really dumb.
Yeah.
That was a good thing to change for sure.
Yep.
I just don't know. It does, you're right. It makes the game like a very different game.
It becomes very stally.
Very stally.
Yeah.
And it's also about like, oh, I killed 3 units tier 2. Now I'm up 4 points, right? Like very like, oh, I rolled a little bit good here and I didn't die, and then actually you died, and now I get 8 points and you don't. You get
also
0.
Things like random Overwatch spikes your swing because they can like swing that 4 points.
Yeah.
Let's not say I don't dislike Purge. I think they picked very good missions. Yeah. There's something broadly to say is that I've been to a couple ATCs and this was by far the best run one that I had been to.
Yeah.
I mean, just like the Captain's Council was like great. We got there and they were like, here are the rulings. And we were like, awesome. And they were like, here's everything you need to know. And it took 25 minutes and that was it.
All right. Bonsai Kitty Gaming, $5 super chat, says after 2 years and
20,000 in commission painting, I am doing a personal project. Which is more viable, Raven Guard, Imperial Fists, or Mono Nurgle Demons?
Mono Nurgle Demons, probably.
Is this from like an art perspective or from like a competitive gaming perspective?
I assume they're asking about competitive gaming. I mean, Raven Guard, I will say, does not feel that good.
No, I mean, like, Shrike is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I guess it also depends. Like,
sorry, I was thinking it was Raven Wing. Yeah, Raven Guard.
Yeah, Raven Guard.
But you can make Raven Guard kind of do anything, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the question, right? Like, is Imperial Fists, like, are you going to run Anvil Siege Force with, like, a bunch of Tactical Marines? Or are you going to run whatever is good in Marines that are painted yellow?
What I do is my army's painted up like Templars.
Yeah.
But what I do is I just induct, competitive. I just have, I just say like they join the crusade. So
yeah.
I recently assembled a box or 2 boxes of Inner Circle Companions. I gave them some Black Templar relics that they're holding instead of the other ones.
Yeah.
And I gave them Black Templar shoulder pads instead of the Dark Angel shoulder pads.
They joined the crusade.
So
I think we can say that like Marines generally, if you're willing to be very flexible about what Imperial Fists or Raven Guard means, I think that would be better. And you can pick whatever one you look better and just run whatever you want. And then I would say, but if you're going to be running, I am running Raven Guard or I am running Imperial Fists, I'd probably go Mono Nurgle Demons.
Yeah. Mono Nurgle Demons is legit. I would probably go mixed.
Yeah.
I was actually quite happy with our demon list.
I know. I think if you go like 80% Nurgle Demons and you splash in some stuff, your lists get way better.
Fate Weaver, quite
helps
solid.
A lot, yeah.
The Lord of Change teleporting around with guns, quite solid. Keepers of Secrets are absolute assholes to kill. Like they're just ridiculous.
Yeah.
-1 to hit all the time, 5 feeling the pain on a big boy.
Yeah.
It's really annoying to deal with. So if you want to go in any of those directions, you certainly can.
Yeah. But I think you say open and flexible here. Yeah, I would paint whatever Marines you think look the coolest, and then whatever is good in Marines, just add that specific unit to your list, right?
Yeah. Like come up with some kind of fluff as to why these Raven Guard jump pack guys with Power Fists and Inferno pistols are particularly mad right now.
Yeah, or just paint Azrael yellow.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing against that. It's just a different, like he's Brother Bazriel or something, right? Like
Brother Bazriel.
I mean, like you can, if you really want to, you can come up with your own characters and just have them have the rules of Azrael or whatever.
Yeah, imagine having custom lore for your armies, Jack. Who would do that?
Not me, I'll tell you that much.
Ed Miller, great seeing you, Jack. Wish we got a chance to play at ATC.
Yeah, Ed Miller, good to see you too. Ed is the TO of BFS.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you probably met him when we went up there. I've known him for probably about 10, 11 years, something like that. And it's always good to see you.
Drew Skywalker, this isn't a super chat, but I just really need to say they are Nick's Sons of Colgate.
They are Nick's Sons of
Colgate. And they are no more.
There's like 2 dreadnoughts and the rest of them got warp fired to the Great Warp Fire in the sky. But yeah, no, it's always good to see Ed and the BFS crew. I think they did pretty good. good, if I remember correctly. I think they placed top 5.
We can find out.
I think they placed higher than us. So
We have the technology. They placed top 3.
Top 3. They placed 3rd.
Yeah,
very,
with
very
3
well done.
wins, a loss, and draw.
That's pretty good. Like legitimately, that's quite good.
Yeah.
Who did they draw?
I don't know. I can find out. Oh, whatever the round 3 was.
Whatever the round 3 was. Well, while you were looking that up, I think it is a perfect time to have a word from our sponsors, Rattlecan Studios.
Oh, yes. They played in round 3. They played
Sanctum
Gaming. So I just looked it up. Now I forgot.
Well, it's pretty impressive because we did not manage to do that.
No, we lost to Sanctum Gaming.
No, we lost to Sanctum Gaming.
A lot of real teams at ATC.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's also a bit of an event that happened halfway through our round, which is covered by Jack Maria's Tech Theratrix, which is one of our players, specifically Travis Armstrong, had to drop out
for some personal reasons.
and had to go home early.
And we had a brave sub in. We stole the coach from, what was it, Midwest Monstars? Yeah, who's Chris?
I happen to know exactly one person,
a
friend of mine, who was coaching, not playing, and I was like, "Yo, Chris, you want to?" I'm tagging you in, and he discussed it with his team, and they were gracious enough to let us steal their coach.
And he happened to play Grey Knights, which was very helpful.
Yes, he did. And honestly, I would have asked him to play literally anything, because I think he would do well with it. But it happened to be his second faction, which was very good. And then he did well for us. Honestly, he played into Tau on their table choice with them going first. Not good, in case you were wondering. That's bad. That's quite bad. And he got a 6, which is very solid.
Solid score.
And then he played into Blood Angels and got a 10.
Yeah, also very solid.
Also very solid score.
We were trying to figure out what we were going to do, and our best solution was that you and I were just going to play the Grey Knights in addition to whatever we were doing, and we were going to just trade off. Yeah,
we were going to try that. Whichever one of us is in the easier matchup, or maybe both of us.
Probably both of us.
Both of us.
Yeah.
We just asked them if we're allowed to run back and forth and Bobby Fischer it.
We're just the Flash. We're just so fast. We still stand in 2 places at once.
Well, what you do is you put time on both of us. You put time, because I didn't use a clock the whole weekend.
No.
And it was never an issue. But at that point, we would use a clock so that our opponents could be guaranteed to get their time. Mm-hmm. And I would just have an hour and a half combined with you to play both games.
Seems fun.
I think it's doable. We're both quite quick.
Yeah, we're both very fast. Dude, our games, our personal games, take an hour.
Yeah, if the 2 of us play each other, it's just Brett.
It spawned the idea of something I really want to do as a video. I'm going to pitch it now to this chat because this is a fun video. I can do it. Now, I want to do a game where someone is playing an army, and then the opponent is all 5 Ardor coaches, but each of us plays 1 turn. So Jack would play round 1, and then John would play round 2, and then I would play round 3, and Nick would play round 4, and Richard would play round 5. But none of us know what the matchup is, or what we're playing, or anything about the game
until you walk
into the table, and we sit down and start playing.
I think there's a channel that I watched a while ago, a long time ago, and they do the same thing but for cooking, where one dude walks in and is like, all right, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And he starts it and he has 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And then the next person, then he's like, and then he has to go. And the next person comes in, the pot's boiling. And they're like, what am I making?
No, I think it'd be really fun because we all play 40K so differently. I'm just trying to imagine you into Nick, where Nick is handed this super aggressive position, and can he continue the aggression? Does he revert to his scoreliness?
It would be fun. It'd be fun. John would have to be the glue in between there.
Yeah, because he's a fairly balanced play style.
Yeah, you could do kind of whatever. Mm-hmm. I think Richard turn 1 would be perfect. Just a very
solid, very every I's and T's are crossed. But I feel it'd be cooler though if we have random stuff. Like we don't know the order.
Oh yeah, who's next? Draw straws. Me.
Yeah. Anyway, if you want to see something like that, let us know in the comments down below.
That would be some.
It'd be super fun.
That'd be interesting for sure. So overall, the weekend was just a hell of a lot of fun.
It was really fun.
The 5-man teams had a lot of teams.
I know.
There were like 50 teams or something going to the 5-mans.
Yeah. 8s and 5s are very different.
Yes.
Because there's a scrum in 8 that like you don't. You also get like, it's really easy to be like, okay, these are the top 5. But like the bottom 3 are just like,
Yeah, it's like, what is your team comfortable with? Are your team members comfortable with? Because something I have found out time and time again, unfortunately I've been burned by this a couple times on teams, is if you tell someone, no, your army is not good, and they disagree with you, but you get them onto a different army that is better, but that they don't like or that they don't believe in,
it's not going to work.
they will flame the hell out. They will
is-
absolutely die.
It is so much better to run an army that you are comfortable with than an army that you are not. So I'm going to tell a story now. And this is a story that I think I've told on the channel before. And that is a story of the Dallas Open 2022 ? Anyway, it was right when the Tyranid book had dropped.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm talking
27 Raveners?
Okay, hold on. This is my story.
Sorry, my bad.
This is like unnerved Maliceptors, unnerved Hive Tyrant, like the Hive Tyrant with full Encircle the Prey. Like the book was the most busted book that modern 40k has ever seen,
Yes.
bar none, hands down. And I was like, obviously, this is what I want. Now, I had never played a game of Tyranid before in my entire life, and I did not own a single Tyranid model.
You were like, boy, they look fun.
They look super fun. They look really good. Anyway,
They look really fun.
so I didn't like love Tyranids, and I didn't really want to play them, but they were so broken that I thought I had to. So I asked my friend to print me a Tyranid army, and I printed 2,000 points of Tyranids, and I painted every model in one day.
It did not look good.
It did not look good. It looked like I built and painted the entire army in a day. Do you remember the pyro? I need to get a picture of those pyrovores that are like dying on the ground.
I'm melting. Yeah, the pyrovores literally look like they're begging for death. Is what they look like. They're
so
reaching one claw out as they slouch along the ground.
So
there's a reason why
they got printed at half
like
scale. So they were
real-
half the size they were supposed to be. So I had to put them on like a giant mound, but they didn't like bounce. So it was really bad. Anyway,
There's a reason why I like using actual plastic and painting it and whatnot.
so I go to this tournament and my list is weird but like obscene, and I go like, it was like 4 and 5 or something. Real, I did like 3 and 6. I did like really bad. It was like the worst I'd ever done at a tournament like the last several years with like full, like I had like 3 Maliceptors that did like 12 mortal wounds each every turn. And I was like, what is happening here? And then I was like, man, I really did not enjoy playing Tyranids. I didn't want to play them. I didn't like the army. I didn't own the army. I was not excited about them. I just bandwagoned onto them. And it was kind of like a guiding principle for going on forward, is that I only play an army to a tournament if I want to play it.
Yeah, that's the same thing. I will say after I only play armies. I don't play armies I don't want to play.
Yeah.
Like there have been plenty of armies that have come out that are just absolutely busted, and I did not play them.
Yeah.
Like I did not play Harlequins right when they came out. Played them later when they were more balanced. Like I don't play an army I don't want to play. You know, and that it generally works well. Also, like it does not it does not feel super great to have an army that like looks garbage and isn't your like normal thing.
Yeah.
Whereas your Eldar, like literally you have backstories for your characters.
Yeah, so I think I have like 200 or 300 pages of backstory for my different Eldar characters. It's
Boy's a
really,
writer.
really, it's kind of bad. Gabriel Ruth, love this idea, but obviously the only man capable of defeating your powers combined is Skari running Drakari. Yeah, Skari puts me to shame quite a bit of the time, because you can see me playing Drakari and you can see him playing Drakari, and they're very different results.
All right. Will Brogan, $5 super chat, says it was really cool to see you guys at ATC. Got to talk to Jack about World Leaders. Really cool experience for a first tournament.
Oh, well, I'm really glad you got that experience then.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I actually got the Blood Angel Mirror a couple times, and I've discovered I hate it. But I did get to play someone who really likes Blood Angels and really wanted to play me specifically. And that did happen. Did happen.
Very nice of you.
Yeah. So ultimately, fun weekend, right?
I really had a great time. What was your favorite part?
Oh, this is gonna be so obvious in retrospect, but it's all kind of a whirlwind. I don't know. The part that might stick with me the most is the man van.
I was gonna say it was the man van.
So that was the trip up. It was Matt Mann has a big van.
Yeah.
That has like heated or cooled seats.
It's like a really nice minivan.
Really nice.
Yeah.
And it was fun on the way up and the way down, just like a caravan for like 8 or 9 hours where we talked nonsense.
I think my favorite part was on the way down, the game we were playing.
So this is going to sound really dumb.
But it's so fun.
But trust me, it is actually quite fun. You say part of a data sheet that's in the game, and people have to guess what the data sheet is.
Yeah.
This sounds really stupid and really nerdy, I promise.
It's super fun.
But it is. It started because we were at the Airbnb.
Yeah.
And Charlie just goes, "Hey Jack, what do you think about what?" Like he wasn't trying to say the data sheet because then I'd say it wasn't good. But he was like, "What do you think? What's your opinion on two multi-meltas for 120 points?" And I was like, "I don't love it. What is 120 points for 2 multi-meltas? Like that's a super weird unit. Like what is that? Like what unit are you trying to hint at?" And it took a while. It took a while, but
what was it, like 4 servitors?
Don't spoil it.
Okay.
But yes, it was 4 Grey Knight servitors plus a Tech Marine. And like a little bit, he'd like reveal a little bit more. He'd be like, "Yeah, they're ballistic skill 3." And I'm like, "Oh my God, what's 2 multi-meltas at ballistic skill 3? I'm like, "Do they just have multi-melta profiles?" He's like, no, they're actually multi-meltas. And that just, it was, I don't know, it was fun.
It was really fun.
It was fun in a nerdy kind of way.
Yeah.
My favorite was, no, because Colin, that is a twin link multi-melta, not 2 multi-meltas. Yeah, see?
I think my favorite was this is a 1 model unit with 5 wounds and 4 ranged weapons.
Yes, that was yours.
Was good.
That was you proving you could do it to a good
good
model.
Unit.
Yeah.
Red Rum, Steve is an undefeated Custodes list from the AT in the 8-man tournament.
Yeah.
ETC.
I mean,
yeah.
Steve is good in Custodes.
That's the knight, right? It's Canis?
That's Canis. Canis in Custodes, yeah. I mean, just to explain the meme really fast, there was, when the Custodes book came out and was a massive disappointment to all of us, GW released like pictures of different artists doing their Custodes stuff. And one of them was a guy who did a Custodes themed knight. And that guy's name was Steve. And so when I played Canis Rex on stream and did bad things to some orcs, our Discord, our chat, Lisan Al-Gaib, Steve leads the way.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah, so Steve's good. Like legitimately, Canis Rex is pretty good. I would consider running Steve to an event with Custodes for sure, because at least it's actually quite interesting. Like he's got a lot of cool rules.
He's like flat damage 8, right?
In combat, yeah. If you catch the wrong side of the front hand backhand, you're gonna be catching, I think, 5 attacks hitting on 2s with sustained 5s at strength, AP, damage 8, or 10 attacks at 10, 2, 3.
Which is pretty solid.
With sustained 5s.
Yeah.
Yes, that's quite good. Yeah. And then his gun is also pretty good, and he's just good stats, and like he's just good for Custodes, honestly, at backing them up.
I mean, he's like a cool flex into like every Imperial army.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's most of the super chats. I think that is largely that's largely it. That's the ATC recap. I mean, really, we just recapped how good of a time we had.
Yeah.
Also, that burger place, by the way,
was really good. So good.
You got to pick like whatever you wanted. You got to pick the type of. There were like 5 different types of meat, and then they had various upgrade options.
We should be sponsored by like
so good.
The restaurants in Chattanooga.
It slammed. I wanted to get. Also, wasn't that expensive? Oh, so good. All right, Andy from Bybrush and Bolter, $5 super chat says, "Was really great seeing y'all at ATC. I was super excited to see Jack playing his Blood Angels. All felt right in the world again." Yeah, the Blood Angels are fun, man. They're quite good. They're also really good in teams. So quite solid. I don't think they're like the only S tier army or anything like that.
He lies.
They definitely felt like they had some strengths and weaknesses. But they're good. They're good. They're solid. They're good in teams. I like them.
Yeah.
Canis is damage 9. Sorry.
Because 8 wasn't enough.
You're thinking of the Lord of Skulls.
Oh, Lord of Skulls is damage 8.
The Lord of Skulls is damage 8. Because, I mean, Khorne.
Obviously.
Yeah. He's more of a devotee of Tzeentch, Canis is.
I see, yeah.
He's got that damage 9. I don't know when the difference between 9 and 8 is going to matter that much. I guess into, like, if you wanted to split attacks and try to kill 5 Sagittars. Yeah. Well, I somehow find myself in combat with 5 Sagittars. So, 1 attack each.
Could Canis kill? He could kill 5 Sagittars.
Oh, absolutely, he could. Yeah.
Bing, 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 bing.
I think on average you're going to miss like one of them. But if you reroll a hit roll, then on a decent number of them you're going to get 2 hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dark Angels, I think, are better than Blood Angels, but they're better in a different way.
Yeah, Dark Angels get more consistent scores. Blood Angels get higher scores, so it depends what you prioritize.
Yeah. If the Blood Angel list like can stage and jump you and do XYZ, you're getting flatlined. The Dark Angel, I think, wins more often, but it wins more often in like the 12 to 14 range as opposed to the 18 to 20 range.
It definitely can get good scores, though, especially when it's run by a pilot like John.
It absolutely can. Absolutely can. All right. Well, I think that is
everything.
I think that is it for us for today. ATC was just a hell of a lot of fun. I am excited. I'm going to the Gateway Open team event in like a month.
Yeah.
I think exactly a month, actually. And that'll be a good time. I'm not 100% sure what I'm playing.
We're also going to a Warp Fire team event like next weekend or something.
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
Or a week from
this weekend.
Yeah. This weekend we're going to a local Layton GT. Layton Gaming is a game store.
Very nice.
It's got like 50 people. It's a
I'm really
2-rounder event. It's 30 minutes from my house.
You're running Old Sisters and I'm running New Sisters?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Old Sisters means the sisters that Quinton threw to the wayside. I literally posted up the I don't want to play with you anymore meme, and it's Eldar. I'm playing the Eldar character nonsense that I played to Valdosta teams. It was so much fun. It's got 8 characters. It's I could talk about it forever, but I won't for some reason.
For some reason.
No. It's got the Avatar. It's got 2 Farseers, 1 on bike, 1 on foot. It's got the Death Jester with Fate's Messenger. It's got Autarch Weight Leaper with Phoenix Gem. It's got Weeping Stones on the Farseer on bike. It's got a Warlock on bike. It's got Yvrain and the Vizark. It's got a 12-strong unit of troops. It's got a 6-man cannon bike unit. And it's got 3 units of Warp Spiders, 1 unit of Rangers, and a unit of Sweeping Hawks, and a unit of Guardian Defenders.
Red Rum with a 5-year super chat. First reaction to WTC lists. Also, the Custodius Canis list had like 9 dreadnoughts in it. First of all, that's hilarious.
I have not seen the WTC list.
Yeah,
they're not actually public, I don't think.
They like went public like this morning or something. I don't know.
Well, like you can't look at them, and I haven't asked John. Like I'm sure if I asked John, he could be like, "Well, here is the comp."
I played a practice game last night using England Sisters list, and I don't like it.
It's a hot take.
Yeah,
it's a hot take.
It's very hot. It does 30 Seraph a minute.
It's very hot. That's a lot of flamers.
It's a lot of flamers.
Speaking of which.
What?
Why'd you get a yellow card at the event?
Oh. I submitted my Seraphim with bolt pistols and not flamers, and I had to get a yellow card to change them.
Yeah, he has an enhancement that makes his flamers have extra shots, and then he has a strat that makes them do extra things.
And I submitted 20 bolt pistols.
So like
pro player right here.
So the thing is, if you mess up your list, you can get it changed. You just take a yellow card. Like it's very standard. It happened a bunch. It wasn't just us.
Yeah. It was just
or funny. If you're late on submitting or something.
Yeah.
But anyone can mess up. The rest of your list was fine.
Oh,
you
yeah.
just didn't give the Seraphim flame pistols, which they needed to have.
They're also free, but yeah.
They are also free.
Yeah. I just didn't click the button.
You just didn't click the button.
Tom Badine, we'll see you this weekend. Pumped for the Layton GT this weekend. It was a blast watching your ATC come together. Keep it up, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Darren.
Thank you.
All right. You want to go to wrap
But
things
yes,
up?
I will be on Team Midwest Monstars for Gateway Open, which I'm really looking forward to. So just team events are a blast.
They really are. All right, we'll see you guys around. Have a wonderful time, and peace out.
Bye. Oh, Red Rum. Did you see the Custodies Canis listed 9?
Yeah, I did. That's what I was
Okay,
going.
cool.
Yeah. Bye.